What's up, guys? So today we're going to do some lighter testing. All right, if you watched my series on testing the gasket for the Zippo, I discovered that if you leave a Zippo lit for about 5 minutes or so, it starts to create a really large flame. What happens is, as the heat builds up, it creates some kind of a suction that pulls fuel vapors out of all the different cracks. So you have your main flame, then you have like a little flame start coming out the sides, and it all collects together to create one giant flame, which is obviously dangerous. So during that testing, I blew it out. Later in the testing, I tried again, and it was consistent. About the 5-minute mark, it starts doing this weird thing, and you get this really giant flame. So what I want to do is not blow it out. I want to just leave it lit as long as possible. But instead of just doing the regular Zippo, I'm also going to compare it to these other lighters. So I have a Zippo Slim. I have a Clipper lighter, the all-metal version, which has a sealed bottom. I also have the IMCO lighter, which is very popular, also has a sealed bottom, as well as this just no-name lighter from China, also has a sealed bottom. Also, all these lighters work on the same concept as a Zippo, in that there's some kind of a cotton or rayon fill that holds lighter fluid, and then there's a wick that goes up. On all these models, there's also a wheel and a flint, so when you strike the wheel, it throws spark onto the wick, and then you have a flame. So they all work in a very similar fashion. Now, just a quick note for this test, I use Zippo brand lighter fluid. It actually ran out. I'm gonna grab another tin. So I have Zippo brand lighter fluid in all of these, and they're at their full capacity, so they're completely filled up as much as they can hold. All right, so I just went outside and it literally started to rain. So I'm doing this project in my porch. I have a cast iron skillet there with some water in it, and then a separate like little tin pan. So that's where the lighter is going to be sitting lit. I also have a fire glove as well as a fire extinguisher, and worst comes to worst, I'll just bring this outside and throw it into the wet yard. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started and then set the timer on my phone. Alright, so in no particular order, here we go. I have to balance these because it's sitting on water. But I think we can manage this. Alright, so let me change the camera angle, zoom in a little bit here for you. I'm going to move that plate, and get the timer going. So it's going to be maybe 20 seconds past. There we go. Alright, so we are just 2 minutes in, and we have kind of a catastrophe with our Zippo Mini, which is pretty interesting. So the Zippo Mini is completely engulfed. However, the full-size Zippo is already showing a little bit of extra flame coming out by the wheel. Alright, just for reference here, we just hit the 5-minute mark. Alright, the full-size Zippo and the Zippo Mini are completely engulfed. Alright, probably very dangerous to handle at this point. All the lighters, I'm sure, are screaming hot. You wouldn't want to actually be touching them. However, the IMCO in the back, the Clipper, and the No Name, they actually the Clipper and the IMCO have much bigger flames. Oh, no, the IMCO is now failing completely as I'm talking. So out of all these lighters so far, the No Name Chinese one all the way on the right seems about the safest. Alright, I just heard a lighter part go flying. All right, so we're at the 6-minute mark here. About 10 seconds ago, I heard something go flying. I'm assuming maybe it was a wheel or a spring for the flint or something. Something broke over there for sure. But I'm standing way away from this right now. All right, so we're past the 7-minute mark now, and it looks like all the lighters are completely engulfed at this point. I'm gonna let it just keep going. We'll see what happens. Alright, so we just hit the 8-minute mark. If you notice, the no-name Chinese lighter went completely out, as did the small Zippo Slim, as well as the IMCO lighter. All three of those lighters are completely out. The full-size Zippo is still rocking its 3 little flames. And the clipper lighter in the back, the top's out, but the bottom's lit. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me change positions here. Give you a different angle. Actually, I gotta take off my heat glove, which I'm holding. Ain't prepared for anything. Here's a close-up shot. Hopefully you guys can see that. The clipper is lit on the bottom, which is not good. Alright, so we're at the 9-minute mark. The only contender left is the full-size Zippo. It has some funky flames going on, but it's the only one that's still lit. Alright, right at 10 minutes, it looks like all the lighters are done. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Some sparks from the Zippo. No, it's sparking. That's odd. And it's out. Alright, so let's just wait a second, make sure it's out. Once the flame extinguished, the actual wick was like sparking up a little bit, which is weird. Alright, all the lighters are officially out. That was a very interesting test. So it's been about 11 minutes since I first started lighting the lighters. The large Zippo, or full-size Zippo, was the one that went out last.